Well, hi there. Welcome to Hour 2 of Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole, and this is the place, this is the show that's all about really helping you put a smile on your face. So when you come home, whether it's an apartment or a house or a condo or whatever it is, you go, you know what? Life is pretty darn good, and I love the space that I call home. So on this long Memorial weekend, I'm guessing that maybe your to-do list, like mine, is a little longer than usual. Maybe you have like a month's worth of stuff that you want to accomplish in 3 days. I can relate to that, but that's okay. And maybe you're giving yourself a break, a time out from that, and just going to relax. That is okay too. Either way, we've got you covered with some really fun things in the next hour to give you some solutions and some ideas for that place you call home. So coming up, we're going to talk about saving water. Of course, we know here in California it is so important, and we've been talking about it here on the show. We always do, especially in the summertime when you're thinking about gardening and you're thinking about maybe that toilet that's wasting water. But maybe do you think about how the water in California is impacting the fine folks, the farmers in the state who grow the food, and then how that impacts what we pay at the grocery store? So we're going to talk about that, what's going on, and how that impacts us in our homes with the food that we finally put on our dining room table. Then later, remember in the movie Indiana Jones, it was always like the snakes that drove him nuts. What is it about certain insects or bugs that might kind of give you the heebie-jeebies? Or maybe you just go, these are the most beautiful things in the world. I'm hearing that this is going to be a really bad year for the bed bug and the stink bug. And I don't know about you, but every time I go to a hotel now, I can't even handle the bedspread on the bed and all the decorative pillows. I've got to take all that out because I'm worried about the bed bug. But anyway, we're going to get to the bottom of all the bad bugs and what you should do and what you should worry about or not. And then finally, she is the chick with a heart for chicks, as in chickens. Have you ever thought that you could raise chickens in your yard here in Southern California? You can. Yes, it's becoming a very, very popular thing. It's all about being sustainable, becoming a farmer in the city. What are the rules? How do you start? How many eggs are you going to be getting when you do this? It's all to look forward to. Keep the number handy because I know you're going to have some questions. It's 888-KFWB-980, 888-539-2980. Remember, as you're listening, we post all the shows on the website. It's very handy. Just go to cindydole.com or cbsla.com, and then you can download the shows, listen to them later. Oh, by the way, you can also download my free Cindy Dole Home Wizards app. And all you do is you just kind of wave your iPhone or your Android in front of the barcode on the homepage of the website. And then when you're there, you get all the tips and all the shows and the videos, and you can take them with you on the road. Like last Saturday, we were talking with Consumer Reports about great grills and how they have this new one called the Margaritaville Grill that you actually can take for your tailgate party, and it just basically hitches up to the back of your car. So check it all out at cindydole.com. All right, so now to my next guest, all about making sure that we have the water where we need it, when we need it, so we can eat our food and take care of our farmers. So, did you know that this is Water Awareness Month in California? I didn't know that. I found that online today. And, of course, it's something that should always be on top of mind. We've been dealing with the drought, and we've been dealing with these mandatory conservation rules. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off. But do you ever think about how this all impacts the food that you eat and the farmers who are taking care of these 200 crops that are grown in California that you can't find anywhere else? With me are a couple of guys who think about it all the time. Randy Record, he is active in farming citrus and wine grapes and carrots and potatoes, along with Joe Del Bosque, a farmer of cantaloupe and one of my favorite veggies, asparagus. So welcome, guys. Hi, Randy and Joe.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, good to have you guys here. So what is the status, starting with you there, Joe, what is the status of our water supply in California right now? How bad is it?
Well, it's improved greatly over the last 2 years. As most people know, we've had a great precipitation year. Our snowpack is 160% of normal. The reservoirs are pretty full, and our farmers on the west side of the San Joaquin Valley are receiving 80% of their supply. We're not receiving 100%, but it's much better than the last 2 years where we had very drastic cutbacks.
Mm-hmm. Randy, are you feeling the same way?
Well, yeah, the precipitation's been great. After some drought, we've got some water. We still have issues on getting the water delivered to where it needs to go. We're still fighting the fact that our infrastructure is not protecting the environment, and not really guaranteeing us a good water supply.
Mm-hmm. So if I understand, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of us consumers don't really think about this as heavily as you guys do. As farmers, your concern is that water is what you need to do your job, to grow food in abundant supply and then keep it affordable for us, right? And how does that all work?
Well, if I might start this off,
sure, go
just
ahead.
about all the crops in California are irrigated. There's very little here that is grown under rainfall, so we depend on water from the watersheds, and most of that is in the mountains in the north. And so we have to find a way to get that water to our farms and also to the cities, and especially in Southern California. Mm-hmm. So we're dependent on a big project to get water to us, and there are some environmental issues in the central part of the state that make that a little difficult.
Yeah, Randy, what are you going to say there?
Well, I mean, California's blessed in having this Mediterranean climate. We can grow just about anything. The only issue is the water isn't plentiful throughout the state. So while we can grow avocados in San Diego County, we need water because it's not plentiful there. And you can't grow those in the Midwest. So that's why it's really important that we have the water supply throughout the state so that we can grow all the crops that we're able to.
So Joe and Randy, you were telling me earlier this week that there's a move underfoot to have a water bond that I guess is going to be on the ballot coming up, and that is going to impact us how?
Well, our water projects here in the state are about 50 years old. They were built at a time when California had maybe 18 million people, and we're probably double that. And so this water bond is being developed to try to improve our system, bring it up to the 21st century, try to get us a little bit more reliable supplies of water for both farms and cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Randy?
There's two goals here. One is to restore the environment, and the other is to ensure an adequate water supply. It's a result of legislation that was passed in late 2009. It's a huge bond, but when you really break down the numbers, it'll only cost a household about $450 a month in 2020, and that's really a small amount to pay for an investment for our infrastructure that really has been lacking over the last few decades.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe and Randy. And now I'd like to bring in Mike Wade, who is the executive director of the California Farmwater Coalition. And Mike, maybe you can, speaking of money, kind of give us a bigger sense of what this all means to the food we buy and the prices that we're paying for the food. And you've shared that while we might go, oh, it's so expensive to buy food, it's still way cheaper than other parts of the world. How is that?
Hi, Cindy. Yeah, it's true. Food prices have been on the rise, and we're hearing a lot from consumers about increasing costs. But if you look at food prices in the United States compared to other parts of the world, we pay about 6% of our disposable income per household on food supply, and on average, the 28 other high-income countries that we would compare that to with the United States are paying really over 10% of their disposable income on food.
So what can we as homeowners do as we're trying to conserve water? How can we somehow help you guys and make sure that the food that we buy is still affordable?
Well, it's great to have a state like California that's so self-sufficient in food and fiber products, and what we want is support from consumers. I don't think it's realistic to ask consumers to conserve water in order to make sure farmers have it. But when issues like the bond that Joe Del Bosque and Randy Record were talking about come on the ballot, it's about supporting our future water supply for the whole state, for urban consumers, for farmers, and for the environment. And that's really the support we need for everybody in the future.
Okay, and so people can go to the website. It's called farmwater.org to get smarter about this. You guys are a nonprofit education group, if you will, to really help us think about the whole long and complicated process of water and getting it through the state and getting it to farmers and crops, and then for us being able to afford the food that we want.
That's right. That's right. We have a great website with lots of terrific information, all fact-based, that consumers can depend on for getting farm water news and information.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. I know it's a very complex thing, but I appreciate you shedding some light on it. I think that we're getting smarter because of you. That's Mike Wade with the California Farmwater Coalition, and we were also talking with a couple other farmers, Randy Record and Joe Del Bosque, and you can make sure you go to the website to hear more about what you can do to help them out, farmwater.org.